everyone. Welcome to our next project, which is What Lifts You, and it's inspired by the street artist named Kelsey Montague. This is her in front of her wings. She is most famous for creating wings in cities, and people take pictures just like you see here. This is what she says. I started the What Lifts You campaign to provide people with the opportunity to share more about what inspires them in their life. I realized that people love the opportunity to become a living work of art by stepping into the wings, and they love getting the chance to talk about what inspires them in their life. So here's a little video that is about her and her process. She's really interesting. Let's take a look.
My name is Kelsey Montague, and I'm a pen and ink artist. I'm getting ready to do a street art piece. It's going to be a large pair of angel wings. The hashtag for this piece will be What Lifts You, just to inspire people to interact with each other and to tell something that inspires them. After college, I started working in a really detailed drawing just because it helped me relieve stress. Even like as a kid, when I was coloring in coloring books, I would always start doing patterns because I didn't want to just color in something. I wanted to do something different. I'm filling it with images of New York City that is well known to people, like a slice of pizza, and then other images that are personal to me, and it all wraps up into this specific city. Something I really like about street art is that it's interactive and anybody can come up and see it. You don't have to go to a gallery. People will be able to interact with the piece and become part of the piece, which is why I wanted to do Angel Wings. It's really great being part of the art community online because there's a lot of collaborations and you can just reach out to another artist. I love interacting with people. I love getting to know people. Social media allows you as an artist to open up that door and people can feel like they're part of a creative process, which is really what it's all about. Go check out the piece and hashtag What Lifts You, and hopefully you can jump in and join a really fun community.
All right, and here is another one.
My name is Kelsey Montague, and I'm a street artist. I've been drawing my whole life, but it's always been something that I just did for me. The hashtag What Lifts You has turned into kind of its own huge online community, and it's a community I'm really thankful for. At the time, I thought the only way I was gonna ever be an artist was to get into an art gallery, and I walked into a gallery and I had my sketchbook and I wanted to show my work to the lady that was sitting there, and she just kind of dismissed me. Lucky for me, social media came around and I realized I didn't have to have anyone's permission to share my work. Waking up in the morning and drinking coffee is like my most creative time. I studied abroad in Florence, Italy for a year. First got introduced through cappuccinos and lattes. It was Italy coffee. I had never had anything like it. It's good artist fuel. The human experience is a huge part of the art piece itself. I put everything I have into it. I'll walk away, and being able to watch all these people, how they share it, everything that they do, they always take my work one step further. I am in pursuit of creating more art and impacting more people in a positive way. It always all goes back to empowering and inspiring people and letting them step into the art piece.
All right, so that was a little video about Kelsey Montague. What's really interesting that I find is that she is completely making a living out of doing this, and so much so that Illy sponsored that video and sponsored her. So what are we doing? Students will be able to create a work of art inspired by the street artist Kelsey Montague using the elements and principles of art. Students will demonstrate their ability to illustrate 10 things that lift you. Students will emphasize 5 of their things that lift them in their work by using color in the form of pen, ink, or pencil. Okay, so here are a few of your peers' work, and you can see how similar they are to what Kelsey Montague had in her videos. They created their wings, and inside their wings they had objects that lift them. And then inside those objects, also in the wings, to fill up their wings, they also used patterns. I say Zentangle patterns we'll put in there. And to fill up their wings, to make it way more engaging, you can use pencil, you can use marker. The gentleman in the middle at the top, he did not use color, and I would take points off of that. That did not follow the project objective, even though his wings are totally amazing. So what has wings? So you can see here I put more animals that have wings, and you can use this as inspiration or anything else that might be of a connection to what lifts you. So maybe you have a connection to an eagle and you do want to use those wings. So choose wings that might be appropriate to you, or just those that are way interesting. So here I did a Google search of illustration of wings, and I can use these as inspiration. Also, I did this. Everyone, so when you're looking for your wings, you are going to, or you can, absolutely go into Google. And here I looked for illustration of angel wings. And so I found all of these wings that you can use as examples, as inspiration. I looked up illustration of butterfly wings. You can use these as well. Or illustration of just animals. So something like this might give you inspiration. So look it up, get some inspiration. Don't just take it out of your head. Do something that might lift you, whether it's dragon wings or angel wings or bird wings, what have you. So be creative and have fun. All right. So definitely do some research. That is very helpful, as I've mentioned before. Here are the steps. What you are going to do is, in your Google Classroom attached to this assignment, you will complete this brainstorming sheet. You'll read the directions, and you can turn this in. You will then create sketches of the 10 things that lift you. Now, if after you sketch those 10 things, you decide on doing even more, or you want to change them, that's totally fine. However, please take a picture of your sketches and also attach them to this assignment. Please, once you're done with all of that and you have some inspiration, you're ready kind of to get going, please ask the teacher for paper that is specific to this project. Then what you're going to do is, with a pencil, draw out your wings. Now, when you are drawing out your wings, you're going to use the space appropriately. We're not going to make the wings tiny because we need to actually fill these wings. So what I'd like you to do is try to fill the paper as best as you can, maybe edge to edge. That's the most successful way of doing it. Make sure that the entire space is used. Draw out your 10 illustrations to fill both wings with pencil as well. So your 10 illustrations, you could have 5 on one side, 5 on another side, 2 and 8, however you want to divide it. However, my suggestion is to also draw that in pencil. Now, the next thing that you would do is outline everything that you already have down with your Sharpie. Then inside, around your objects, you'll fill the space up with Zentangle patterns. And I am suggesting this website if you need an inspiration. However, I do have my Zentangle patterns, my dictionaries in the back of the classroom. You are going to, with the patterns, you are going to go straight to Sharpie, because if you do use pencil, you will be creating this project forever. So you want to make sure that you do create your patterns directly using Sharpie. Make any accident a happy accident. So once you are all set and you've drawn everything out in Sharpie and using nice smooth lines, you are going to fill at least 5 things with color, so to emphasize those 5 things. And then what you will do is finalize your drawing by gluing your portrait in the center. So I will take pictures of you and print them out, and you will glue them in the center. Okay. So what lifts you? What makes you you? And so Kelsey Montague became very famous because of Taylor Swift. This is Kelsey Montague and Taylor Swift. This image is from an event where Taylor Swift dropped her new album. I think it might have been maybe 2020. And so Kelsey Montague created this mural for Taylor Swift, actually without knowing that it was for Taylor Swift. It was kind of a complete surprise to Kelsey Montague. And there she is. What happened was that one day Taylor Swift found her wings, took a picture of herself in front, and posted it to Instagram. And that's how Kelsey Montague started her career, basically. So what you're going to do is you're going to think about what lifts you. What is your wish for the year? What sets you free? Who do you love? Who inspires you? Who gives you wings? What is your favorite city? How do you stay healthy? What tugs at your heart? What do you celebrate? So you will illustrate those things, be inspired by any of these questions. You can use many of these questions as inspiration to draw out your 10 items, and so that you can fulfill the project objective. So I am not going to show this video. You can see this video yourself in this presentation. Here is the image that I was telling you about Taylor Swift. This is the one that made Kelsey Montague famous. You can see, and when I'm showing you these images, please look and to find the specific illustrations and also the patterns. You can see here, we see a city. I see patterns here. I see a drink. What else do you see? A flower, more of a city. So while you're looking at these, while I chat, please see that there are illustrations and there are patterns. However, one thing also that I want you to take a look at is that they do look like wings. There are feathers incorporated. Do you have to have feathers? I would like some feathers. Here are some examples of Kelsey Montague's. These are full color. I had only asked that you use 5, that you color in 5 things. However, I will allow you to color in as much as you would like. You can see how big they are in proportion to the human, how well they are constructed. The lines are nice and smooth. They're not sketchy, jaggedy lines. The lines are nice and smooth. The space is used appropriately inside of the wings. Not everything is too tiny. We have some big things, some small things, but there are patterns. There are flowers. I see a car here. I see flowers, a heart. Over here, what do we see? What do you see? So let's go to the next one. So again, there are objects, there are patterns. I see books over here. I see maybe, I'm not sure what that is. Could that be a church, a letter M? So we are, yes, illustrating things that do lift us and utilizing color, utilizing good craftsmanship. I want you to please use the paper as best as you can. We're not creating tiny wings. You can see that the wings are nice and big. Here again, I can see a lot of things. Now you can make your wings symmetrical, or you can make them different inside. Here I see that she did make 2 of the guitars. However, the rest of her wings inside are different. But the feathers, you see, so some things look symmetrical, some things aren't symmetrical. You decide. I see boots. What else do you see? Over here, it's mostly, I see a lot of color, but some black and white things. I see a bridge. Maybe that looks like a tape recorder, ramen, coffee, a lot of patterns, a lot of feathers. A lot of them do look symmetrical. And then some things like here, she put maybe grapes or circles in similar spots, but then everything else is asymmetrical, but some things are symmetrical. So you decide. The one on the left is all black and white, And then the one on the right looks like there's more red. So that is a great example of emphasis. Here is another really great example of our project where she only colored in a few things. But again, I see a street sign, I forget what that's called in New York City, but it holds water, a drama icon, a taxi, music, an apple. So this is all about New York. Based on what I see, that is all about New York. So I talked about tangle patterns. Remember, we are going to draw at least 10 things that help illustrate who we are. But amongst those things, we are going to use patterns. You can see here, I see a pattern here, pattern, pattern, pattern. So among your objects, you are going to use patterns. So let me show you this. Hey there, not only do I have Zentangle, what I like to call dictionaries, in the back of my room on the counter, you can also visit this website, tanglepatterns.com. And what's really great about this is that it has a jillion patterns, and sometimes when you click on one, let's see, it will show you actually how to do it. So this is great. It shows you step by step how to do it. So look around, choose ones that you like. They could be as hard as you want them to be or as easy as you'd like them to be. So play around, have fun. Okay, so this is a link that you can go to. I also have the link earlier in the presentation as well. But again, I do have my Zentangle patterns in the back of the room on the counter. Not only do I have Zentangle... Sorry about that. Okay, so here are some more examples. So sometimes she colors black on white, sometimes white on black. You are going to do black on white this time. Again, your project objective. Students will be able to create a work of art inspired by Kelsey Montague using the elements and principles of art. Students will be able to illustrate at least 10 things that lift you in some form or another. What lifts you? Students will emphasize at least 5 things in their work by using color in the form of pen, ink, or pencil. Okay, so my big idea to you is that you illustrate at least 10 things in your wings. You're going to emphasize at least 5 things using color. You are going to, amongst those things, to fill the space, you're going to use Zentangle patterns. You will use size, composition, overlapping. You are going to create it with good craftsmanship. You are going to use nice, smooth lines, not sketchy lines. And if this was the piece of paper, this is how big your wings should be. They should fill up the paper very well. So have fun, be super creative, use all of your creative abilities, think outside the box, think inside the box. More is better. Enjoy yourself, have fun. All right, guys, see you later.